Good morning, you guys. I hope that you all are doing well. I figured this morning I would share with you guys some raw truth. Some of you may already know and some of you may not, but the week before last, my sister was diagnosed with COVID, and then last week she was diagnosed with pneumonia and ended up having to actually be put in the hospital from it. And it was incredibly scary for all of us, very scary. And as a matter of fact, when my mom called me to tell me that her husband was taking her to the hospital, I just broke down because she's my baby sister and I love her. She's my very best friend. And it just pulled at my heart. Like it just pulled the breath from me. And throughout this whole time, she was in there for just under a week and she's home. She's doing fantastic. And I'm so grateful for that. But in those midst of those days, it was very scary. It was very scary for us as her family. And it was very scary for her because she was in the hospital alone. And that, her being in the hospital alone bothered me so bad. I couldn't stand it. We all felt so helpless. All of our friends, all of our family, all of us in her circle. It was just very hard because we felt helpless. And I am a very big believer. Our family is a very big and firm believer in the power of prayer. And so immediately when I got that phone call, I started activating every single prayer warrior I could think of. And I just knew like this, we had to pray her through this. And, but you know, it's very hard. It's very scary and it's hard not to let the fear get you. And that was kind of what I just wanted to be honest about this morning was throughout this time, how hard it was to just keep a rein on the fear of what could happen. And, every time I would think about it, my heart would just sink. It just scared me so terribly bad. And I try not to let my mind go there. As a matter of fact, every single time fear would come into me, like it just grips you. It takes the breath out of you. I would just pray immediately. Like I just gave it to Jesus. I gave my fear to Jesus. I gave my sister to Jesus. I gave the healing to Jesus. I just kept giving it to him. I'd wake up in the night over and over and over and I'd give it to him and give it to him. And that's really all I know to do. But I was reminded, and this is definitely not a coincidence. This is just how God is. And I'm so thankful for that. But, the week before last in children's church, we did our lesson on the group of friends that brought the paralyzed man to Jesus. And for those of you that don't know the story, there was a paralyzed man and all of his friends put him on a mat, and Jesus was teaching and they couldn't get through into where he was teaching. The place was packed with people. So they climbed on the roof. They pulled this man up on the roof with him. They cut a hole in the roof and lowered the man down to the feet of Jesus for healing. These friends are my favorite kind of friends. And when God reminded me of that, of that moment of where these friends brought this paralyzed man to the feet of Jesus for healing, and he reminded me of that in my own life too. And because there was a time of complete brokenness in my own life, hardcore brokenness, where I was so paralyzed, I couldn't even get to Jesus on my own. I had to rely on a tight group of friends to just keep bringing me to the feet of Jesus because of my brokenness. And God reminded me of, though this was a different circumstance, though, Megan needed physical healing and mine was emotional healing. What was most important was that she had people bringing her to the feet of Jesus, praying her to the feet of Jesus. And this just did such good for my heart because I knew God was speaking to my heart and just telling me she's going to be okay. He's got this. He's going to pull her through this. And I'm not saying that my mind still didn't drift in fear because it's hard for your mind not to worry. But God did give me that. He did give me that word of hope and that encouragement of knowing that he's got this and we're doing exactly what we're supposed to do. We're praying for her. And sometimes that's all we can do, but it is the most important thing that we can do. And I'm just so thankful, and I say this with all of my family, and with Megan also. I know she feels the same way. I cannot thank all of you enough for your prayers. I know that there were people praying morning, noon, and night for my sister's healing. We felt your prayers. She felt your prayers. God heard your prayers. And I thank you for your prayers. So I just wanted to say thank you. But I also just wanted to remind you that sometimes in brokenness and in healing, and when we don't know what to do, when we are completely helpless, the most important thing we can do is just bring it to Jesus. Just bring it to God and just give it to him and trust it with him. Our most important things in this world, we can trust with God. And we can know that he is faithful and that he is going to hear our prayers. And so I just wanted to kind of give you that raw truth, because even though, we're not supposed to fear, we are supposed to trust. It's hard to do that, but sometimes we just have to rein it. We have to rein that fear and just keep giving it to God. And so anyway, I just wanted to tell you guys, thank you. My sister is home. She's doing great. My mom just messaged me and said she was up this morning, had already had her shower and swept the floor and was eating breakfast with her kiddos. So this is very good news, and I praise God with all my heart for it. And I thank you guys again for all your prayers. I love you very much. I hope you guys have a great day.